Hey, it's Graham, your astrologer, certified card reader, and creator of Drunk Astrology. Happy to have you here. It is my privilege to be your cosmic coach and guide every single week as we look at the astrology for the week ahead, but also reflect back to last week and look at astrology in motion. How did the aspects we discussed last week show up in real time in the zeitgeist? And you might even hear some personal anecdotes from me. Those are always juicy. Before we hop into this week's astrology, I want to give you an opportunity to become a supporter of the show. This is a phenomenal way to let me know that you love this content and that y'all want more of it. All you got to do is scroll down to the show notes, click the little tab that says support the show, and then you're 2-ish clicks away from becoming a supporter. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting the show. Thank you for downloading every week. Thank you for leaving reviews. And thank you for submitting questions for me to answer on air. There's a lot for us to learn from astrology. So, without further ado, let's hop into this week with Drunk Astrology. What on earth does it look like to reflect while moving forward? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore this week, Astro folk. Welcome to the podcast for the week of December 11th through the 17th, 2023. Can you even believe that we're already in the middle meat section of the last month of 2023? I think that's actually pretty wild and pretty crazy. So this week, I was inspired to give this week a name because we have a very interesting layout here in the cosmos. We've got a new moon with a Mercury retrograde on the same day. So interesting, no? That new moons are a time to call in and to manifest and to set intentions. When Mercury retrograde slows us down and stops in the sky and asks us to go back, go within, reflect. So, this week, I have dubbed the week of reflective forward motion. So what does that mean? Well, Sagittarius energy is Jupiter. Expand through experience. It's also big picture vision. And Mercury retrograde is that reflective piece. It's that press pause piece. It's that, well, maybe we need to go within first. This actually makes a really nice combo should you use the energy available to you. This isn't like most other new moons. One, it's the end of the year. And a lot of people kind of use this as a time to shut down, kind of say like, this month is a wash because I'm just shopping, I'm getting ready for parties, I'm getting ready to travel, host family, host friends, whatever your plans might be. But the planets don't give a shit. If I should put it so blatantly, the planets up there, they're just moving. They're moving and grooving, and they're doing what they do. So this gives us a nice, juicy opportunity to consider, because we have our eyes on a new year. We are already full steam ahead looking at 2024. It's in the back of our minds, but now it's getting louder and louder. So you know that I've been preaching this is the time to just go ahead and implement whatever you want to see happen for yourself in 2024, leading up to this week's Mercury stationing retrograde. I've been saying, do it now. Download it now. Train your brain now, like the story I shared about adding the calendar widget to my phone. I have the goal that I don't want to just write everything down in my scheduler. I also want to have it on my phone. So in the very many cases where I forget to bring my notebook somewhere, or it just doesn't make sense to have it, I can still make plans on the fly. I can still set up a meeting, a reading. I know what is coming up for me because it's in my phone. I started that a couple weeks ago to train my brain, because starting something during a Mercury retrograde it just doesn't usually stick. So it's been a good time to just go ahead and balls to the wall, implement what you want to see for yourself, the goals you want to set for yourself, your vision, your pursuits, your resolutions, all of those things. Now we get to play with it. Because you can go flexible. You can go easy on yourself from now, Tuesday. Mercury station's on Tuesday. The Sagittarius New Moon is Tuesday. You can remain flexible. You can be a little loosey-goosey and go inward to kind of say, what worked for me this year? Because if you're making the same goals that you made at the end of 2022 as you're going into 2024, well, my friend, we have something to look at. We have something to discuss. Because a whole 12 friggin' months have passed, and now those dreams in an ideal world should have evolved. There should have been steps taken, maybe steps missed, maybe missteps, maybe miscommunications, maybe you fell off your path for a second, maybe you explored another path. All in all, this power pack combo of a new moon and Mercury retrograde on the same day is to say, before I jump into making the same ass goals and dreams that I had last year, why don't I go inward? Why don't I go through my planner? Why don't I jump back to the end of 2022, ask myself, what the hell was I even manifesting? What resolutions and goals was I setting back then? And now, how have things come to pass here at the end of 2023? So this is a good week for reflective forward motion. Go back, even if it's just month by month. If you don't want to go as so granular to go week by week, go month by month and scan. What were your resolutions? What did you manifest? Even if it was at the Lunar New Year, that was in January. What did you manifest? What was on that vision board? Remember, for those of you that have been here for a minute, I sent you that vision board template using feng shui principles and manifestation techniques. What was on that vision board? What did you write down for yourself? What did you envision for yourself? And how did you take action towards making these things come to fruition? Or how did you not take action to see those things come to fruition? So scan, okay? This is a great week. We're still planting. We're planting seeds in with the Sagittarius New Moon. We are manifesting. We're calling in. But I highly, highly encourage you, while doing that, you do it from an informed place. You inform yourself with the goals you set and how you implemented action, how you took action, and how you didn't. Because if you made a goal and you didn't take action on it, then it's not the goal itself that needs to be reconfigured. It's your mindset that needs to be reconfigured. And that these are things that are going to empower you this week with this combination of a new moon and Mercury retrograde. This is going to empower you with a lot of information. And it's Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury is our thinking mind. It is knowledge. It's our ability to absorb information, to read it, to speak it, to learn it, and we grow through our mind. It's literally the cliche phrase that knowledge is power. Mercury retrograde with the new moon needs to inform itself. It needs the information. And when it has all the information, baby, there is no stopping the goals that you're going to be calling in with the Sagittarius new moon. Okay? So I do want to say that this is a huge part of this week, and these are the two main highlights this week. I'm also going to say that we're going to stay focused on this week in this episode. Not going to do a reflection back to last week to look at astrology in motion like I normally do. I'm having like this weird I don't know if it's like lymphatic or like I just have like a swollen, like tender lymph node under my right jaw or the right side of my like neck. So anyway, it's like bothering me, but not bothering me. But it's like enough to just say like, okay, Graham, you need to take it down. And those of you that have been with me for a while, you know I have Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, and my rising all Virgo. So when Mercury, Virgo's ruling planet, goes backwards, there's usually a lot of it's kind of like no holds bar for me, and I feel like, oh, here it goes. Like I've got some weird thing that I've been, there's nothing else, there's no other symptoms, there's no other, I don't have a sore throat. I mean, I'm just tired. Neptune's been stationed since last Wednesday. What day was that? The 6th of December. And like literally like we talked about last week, like it's just been foggy. I've been tired. I've been exhausted. I've been running around like crazy. All good things, but it's just like I feel like I'm sludging through the marsh. So I'm going to take it a little bit easy on myself this week in this episode, just because I know that I need to kind of power it down. And in anticipation of Mercury stationing, I'm like, oh, okay, let me talk about reflective forward motion. It has never behooved me to push past, and it's not for anybody, but for me specifically, I historically have a problem shutting down and resting when I know I need to. So I'm listening to the call, I'm listening to my body, and I'm just kind of going easy because there's a lot of moving parts right now, and with the web store and fulfilling orders and interviewing for the How to Manifest Big in 2024 series and editing clips and doing all the things. Solopreneurship, let me tell you, it is not for the faint of heart. Manifesting that team, I know that's one thing that I am calling in for 2024, definitely. So all that to say, I'm going to stay focused on this week, and these are our two highlights, Sagittarius New Moon and Mercury retrograde. But what I'm going to do, because I was planning on doing a Manifest with the Sagittarius New Moon special episode for all the weekly listeners, I'm not going to do that this week. So instead, I'm just going to put a little manifestation note for the elements. So whether you're a fire sign, earth, air, or water sign, I'm just going to give you a little bit of directive, giving you a little bit of where the universe is opened to you to listen, just something to consider when you're manifesting. Now, keep in mind, these are parts of your chart. This is a broad read, but I want you to consider this. No matter where this new moon is falling in your chart, you can manifest something tangible, even if you're in the water, like the watery space, which the earth signs are. It's just something to consider. These messages are something to consider. Like, oh, if you want a new car, right? If you want a new car, but you're having an air new moon, like it's in a house in your chart that is a house that is ruled by an air sign, then it's more about the connections. It's more about talking. It's more about tapping your network. and like where can you find the best deal? It's like wheeling and dealing. You have to go talk to let's see, a salesperson. You have to go talk to that friend that sells cars, or that knows somebody that can get a discount on cars, right? That's the idea. So you can still manifest the thing, but the way to get to the thing, or the plan at this time, would be more like conversation. All that to say, let's just do a little quickie Sagittarius New Moon manifestation rundown, shall we? Since we are in the sign of Sagittarius, that's a fire sign. We're going to start with the fire signs. So if you're an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, this new moon, talk about vision, talk about travel, talk about what you want to create. These are all themes that are up for you. And it's also, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be front and center for? That doesn't mean you have to be, on stage. It very well could, for those of you that are prone to the limelight. But how do you want to shine in 2024? Reflect on how you did or didn't shine this year. What do you want to celebrate about the last 12 months? And then what do you want to anticipate celebrating in 2024? Okay, very much tied to your action plan, your strategy, what you want to create, and where you want to go. Travel, too, is a big component here. But where do you want to go, and how do you want to grow? Big themes for fire signs. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This new moon it's got you in your feels. And boy, do I definitely am feeling the feels. That's for sure. And maybe a little run down, maybe a little ragged, maybe a little emotionally spent, spiritually spent, physically spent. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this new moon is a time to reflect on your emotional growth over the last 12 months and how you want to move forward through the rest of this year and into 2024 with more emotional awareness, more emotional maturity, more intuitive connection to your body, to your surroundings. This is like empathic energy here, and it's good to kind of sit back, earth signs, and kind of evaluate while resting. Evaluate, how can you incorporate more downtime? How can you listen to your body more, tune in more? So when you're manifesting, consider a balance of work, play, and rest. Okay? Air signs, so if you're a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, this is a great time to reflect on the people around you, right? Think about your most valued relationships, partnerships, connections, alliances. What communities and groups are you a member of, want to be a member of? How did you see your circle grow this year? Maybe you've lost some along the way. Maybe you've had to boundary some along the way. Maybe dynamics have shifted or changed. But now you're back in this season of connection. So the retrograde component for you, air signs, this might be something where, reconnecting with those that you've, just kind of lost touch with. This could be a really favorable time. And again, if there's something that you're wanting physically for 2024, there's a suggestion here that your way to that, the way to making that happen, it's through conversation, it's through connection, it's through exchanging ideas and sharing where you're at, sharing where you've been, and where you want to go. And then last but not least, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Man, this new moon really has money on the mind and stability and work and legacy even is kind of wrapped up in here for you. So water signs, I want you to imagine when you're manifesting under this new moon, how did your situations shift and change this year with work, and go back and look at what worked and what hasn't. Imagine your best day-to-day flow. Was there a particular point in time this year where you felt like well-rounded balance within work, within your health and wellness, where you were like really tuned in, tapped in, you were making the money that you wanted to make? Was it one certain project, or is it your job in general? Are you still feeling aligned with the work that you're doing? And consider all the growth and changes that have happened in this space this year, and now reflect on that as you consider what's work look like for you in the new year. Okay, so that's a little new moon manifesting for all 12 signs, but just, going by the element. So fire, water, air, and earth. Keep that in mind as you move throughout this week. Now, before we get to, there's some other planetary action this week, and we are definitely going to talk about it all. Before we do, there's just a couple things that I want to bring to your attention. Have you listened to the How to Manifest Big in 2024 podcast series? Episode 1 went live last Wednesday, the same day that Neptune stationed, and it is all about creating a legit AF altar for prime time manifesting vision boarding. I talk with Stephanie Swarovski, who is an intuitive guide and the creative director of ritualsbytarot.com. So if you are a fan of tarot.com, or if you know of them, because you can get free digital reads, free tarot pulls, they're a great resource for quick readings, resources and educational materials in the spiritual space. And now with Rituals by Tarot, with Stephanie at the helm, they've brought product in. So actual tangible elements that you need to include in your altars. My goodness, even if you are a professional altar builder, you will learn something in this episode. Number 1, for how to manifest big in 2024. We start there for a reason. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, it's in this podcast platform. So if you're listening, then all you got to do is just scroll down to the episode under the one you're listening to right now. But if you want to watch the interview, it's also available on YouTube on the Drunk Astrology channel. This is a 7-part series. Okay, so I've lined up so many bomb speakers and experts in their fields. We start with building an altar. And this week, on Wednesday, because every single Wednesday for the next 6 weeks now, you're going to get a new episode with a new speaker. And this week, we've got the crystal expert. So, spoiler alert, in your altar, crystals are a big component. So I'm bringing in a crystal expert, Shauna McDonnell, who is the owner of the Crystal Shrine in Burbank, California, to talk what crystals do we need for 2024's energy specifically. Okay, so you definitely want to start with creating an altar so that you get all the elements together, and then when you're shopping for crystals, you know exactly what crystals are going to be great for the energy of the year ahead. So it's all going to build. It's all going to build. Just you watch. I told you, I'm all very Virgo, so I really thought out the timeline and where each speaker was going to fall in the release dates. So please, please, please get into How to Manifest Big in 2024. It's free. It's a limited time series, so take advantage of that. Last little note I want to say before we dive into the planetary action is this is your last week to shop candles and body oils in the Drunk Astrology web store for ground shipping, okay, which is your cheapest option by far, because Priority and Express for the holidays gets insane. It's not impossible. It just goes from like $7 to like $9. all the way to like $20 to $50. So don't be one of those people that gets caught in the Mercury retrograde of it all. The sooner you get your order in, the better for everybody. Promise. So remember, the link to the web store is in the show notes. Just scroll down, click that, and you'll be on your way. So make sure you get your orders in. Saturday, December 16th is the last day to make an order for ground shipping, guaranteed by Christmas delivery. Okay, those are the two important things I want you to remember when listening to this week's episode. How to manifest big in 2024. Listen here in your podcast platform or head over to YouTube and watch it. Some of these you're really going to want to watch because, yeah, you're just going to want to watch some of them. And, you'll know when those episodes come. Okay. All right. Shifting over into the planetary action this week. We start on Monday, December 11th with a Mercury-Venus sextile. This is at 11:17 a.m. Pacific. All the times I give you in this podcast are Pacific Standard, so make sure you adjust for your time zones. Mercury sextile Venus, this is an exciting conversation. This is Mercury in Capricorn, goals, ambition, drive, legacy, coming into this exciting, like nervous energy with Venus in Scorpio, who is looking at what she's capable of on a fundamental level, where her soul calling is. So you've got like the ability here to combine and to connect and communicate right here at the top of the week. There's a relationship here. There's a connection saying, okay, how do we want to grow together? Or how do you think, let's bounce ideas off. What's your reflection as you think about how you want to move forward, right? The week of reflective forward motion. This is a like shoot the shit kind of conversation here. Like, I really feel called to do, and the way I want to build it is, So at the top of the week, take advantage of that and connect. This is a communication, and it can maybe Mercury and Capricorn. It could be someone that you work with, but it can be like a VIP person in your life that you're just coming to and saying like, let's do this work together. Also on the same day, but later that night, Sun has a quincunx to Uranus at 10:21 p.m. These quincunxes are annoying. Uranus disrupts, and it's unexpected. So there is some kind of need to eliminate an old way of thinking, an old vision, an old way of approaching a vision. A quincunx to Uranus says, choose a new route. Go a new route. Shake this up a bit. The status quo, how you've been thinking about moving ahead, isn't. It needs a shake up. There needs to be something. Eliminate the old like mental garbage around a big dream, a big goal, and shift it into a new paradigm. Doesn't matter if you don't understand all the variables yet. Just do that. And also, I want to note that Monday, Neptune station dissipates. So if you have been, like all last week, if you've just been through the ringer, you've been foggy, you've been tired, you've been spent, you've been more emotional than normal, you're not crazy. In the week that Neptune stations, it's literally 5 days before, 5 days after. On Monday the 11th, that station dissipates. So we end the fog, but then we also the next day have Mercury stationing retrograde at 11:09 p.m. The Sagittarius New Moon at 3:32 p.m. So we are kind of stuck in the crosshairs here for most of the week, because we got to give Mercury 2 days before and 2 days after. So that makes Sunday the 10th, the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. We're really in that Mercury station confusion, things taking longer or not happening like we want them to. So I will say, first 75% of the week, Monday through Thursday, Give yourself extra time to get to an appointment, to drive anywhere. If you're traveling in the first part of the week, give yourself, be early. You know, the worst case scenario, you're there early. Worst case scenario, it's, you know, you're going to be late. You're going to be forgetful. You're going to be a little scattered. Like when Mercury stations, all of those like normal, usual annoyances and hiccups, we all usually feel that. Like I have to go to the Line Hotel to do readings on Tuesday from 4 to 7. Usually leave at like 3:15, probably going to leave at 3 o'clock. Worst case scenario, I'm sitting in the lobby drinking a tea from Alfred. You know, like no biggie, at least I'm early. Then, as we move through the week, there's no major planetary action Wednesday or Thursday, but on Friday, we really start a healing path. There is a beautiful connection between Mars and Sagittarius, who is all about taking action towards his vision. You are inspired and driven and motivated to take action on Friday and towards your healing. Mars in Sagittarius has a trine to Chiron, the comet of wounded. We call him the wounded healer. And when he's activated by Mars and in a trine, even if this is an aggravation, because Mars in a fire sign can be aggravated and frustrated, there is a healing opportunity on Friday, and take that action. This is exciting energy. This is excitable energy. So yes, you can. If you get to this weekend and you like get an opportunity that you're kind of like, oh my God, I don't know. Can I do this? Am I capable of this? Yes, you can. Friday and through the weekend, the message is yes, you can. On Saturday the 16th, the Sun in Sagittarius has a square to Neptune in Pisces at 7:43 p.m. Clarify the vision, right? So you have a opportunity on Friday that then hands over into Saturday, and you might be a little confused. You might be a little like, I'm not sure, like this is a really good opportunity, or there's a growth potential here in some kind of activation, whether that's an internal activation or external. Saturday comes around, and there's a need to really kind of pin down your growth strategy. There's a need to clarify anywhere there's kind of like a little confusion, a little muck, a little like, wait a minute, have the facts. Know the facts this weekend. That's going to help you get on the other side of Neptune's just overall, just like mist in the air, mist in your situation. Okay, so facts are going to be your best friend this weekend. And then on Sunday, it's yet another healing opportunity through relationship, through partnership, through desire nature, what each person wants in a scenario, but Venus has a quincunx to Chiron. So now Venus in Scorpio, now she's swimming in the deep when she's in Scorpio already. So Venus in Scorpio, getting in there underneath the hood with Chiron and Aries can be an excitation of your wound, or an excitation of someone in partnership's wound. You watch your words. Venus in Scorpio can shoot to kill. So be very mindful. Remember, there's a lot of healing opportunities starting on Friday that carries through the weekend. But with this, beware of jabbing. Venus in Scorpio is intuitive as all get out. So when it comes to relationships this weekend, be very mindful of your words. Do not shoot to kill. Be empathetic, be sympathetic, and to yourself too, right? Venus can also be a mirror, the relationship with self. Don't discount that. So everyone's working through a lot. Everyone's in this reflective forward motion energy. And when it comes to the weekend, just remind yourself and ask yourself as you flow through the week and you get to the weekend, where is my opportunity to heal? You might be surprised, maybe it's not a relationship story. Maybe it's Maybe it's an upset from your past. Mercury retrograde, it's your past is up. Okay? Like it's ready to be scanned. It's ready to be evaluated. And as we work our way closer and closer to Christmas and the holidays, and we're in Hanukkah, we're all, a lot of us, reconnecting, with family and chosen family, people we haven't seen or spoke to in a while. So a lot of things come up. So be sympathetic, be empathetic, be intuitive, be aware of what's happening within you first and around you second. Okay? I hope you have a phenomenal week ahead. Remember, How to Manifest Big in 2024 is available on this podcast platform and on YouTube, and shop the web store this week because Saturday the 16th is the last day for ground shipping for guaranteed delivery by Christmas. All right, have a phenomenal week. I'll see you in your inbox. I'll see you on Instagram. Until next time, bye. Hey, one last thing before we go. Who are 3 people you could share this episode with? Who would benefit from learning astrology in real time? From learning how to work with the energy of the cosmos, from tracking the patterns and cycles, to seeing it in real time in motion. Can you text them right now? Can you send that message and just say, I'm going to share this show with you because I think that you would really vibe with learning in this way. I would appreciate it, they would appreciate it, and you'll feel good knowing that you're spreading the love. Let's keep that high vibration going. I'll see you next week. Bye.